Alrighty, good evening everyone. We're going to get started here with some Magic the Gathering. I'm excited for this one. This is a new little setup. Let's see if we can get it all turned on. There it goes. And so what we're going to do tonight is Ooh, I'm doubled up. Sorry. There we go. We'll mute that. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to open some packs. We're going to talk through some cards. We're going to see if we get some good packs. Or good cards out of it. Some rares. I've got a vault checker that will tell me what the TCG player price is, and we can see if we can make some money. In the scrolling in the bottom left corner of your screen, I will start to track the good cards, and we'll kind of look through them as it is. I have like an example here of some of like a pack that I had opened that kind of breaks out some cards. I've got a quick screen here that we'll use to talk through specific cards and all that. And we're going to look at some cards. I do not know what we're going to pull out of these. It'll be very interesting. I've had some good luck recently. I played in a draft on Friday, managed to pull, and I'm going to forget the name of it, but the rarest card in Wilds of Eldraine. Yeah, words are difficult. But why don't we get started? We have today, I have a box of Dominaria United. This is on sale right now. It's looking like it's starting to be out of standard next year, so everyone's trying to sell it. So I got this box pretty cheap on eBay. I was pretty impressed with that. And then these other packs I've gotten out of some different shopping I did on eBay as well. I do have down below some links to some booster boxes on Amazon. I can't say that they're the best price in the world, but if you want to open some yourself, you're more than welcome to click on those links below. And so, why don't we, I want to save these. I like these cards more. So why don't we start with a couple, or we'll start with Innistrad. So we're going to do an Innistrad Midnight Hunt. And these are all draft boosters. There's no set boosters, there's no collector's boosters. I'm cheap for that sense. But we're going to just crack this open and see how we do. Hopefully we hit something good. And all that fun stuff. And you get a little ASMR out of the whole cracking packs and all that. So, I have to make sure. Yep, this is the one. So we start off with a Flare of Faith. Ooh, let's get the light correct. It's a little bit glare, but that's okay. If 2 casting cost instant, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's a human, instead gets +3/+3 and gains indestructible. Pretty good. Is an instant buff. A little expensive on 2, but not too bad. So then we've got the Crossroads Candle Guide. 4 casting cost. It's a Scarecrow artifact creature. 3/4. When Crossroads Candle Guard enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. 2, add 1 mana of any color. Okay. It cycles a little bit for you on the lands if you have a bunch of colorless lands. Any colors, so that's pretty good. Otherworldly Gaze. It's an instant. 1 casting cost. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Flashback 2. Pretty good. Novice Occultist. 1/2 for 2 casting costs. You get to draw a card and you lose 1 life, so it's a pretty good early trade if you were looking for that. Harvest. Let's see, I can read. I swear. Harvesttide Sentry. Human Warrior, 3/1 for 2 casting costs. Not bad, and it has a Coven skill available for it. Raise the Effigy, 1 casting cost, instant. It's got to choose one. Either you get rid of an artifact, or target attacking creature. Ooh, I am glaring the heck out of you. I apologize. There we go. I'll look at my screen instead of the words. And target attacking creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Revenge of the Drowned. 4 casting cost instant. Gotta find the nice angle. Ooh, I saw a little splash of some other card back there. We'll see what that turns out to be. Alright, so what do we got here? Ritual Guardian. Where is the sweet spot on this? I'm trying to find it. I'll find it soon. I noticed that this one doesn't focus very well. You can see these words really clearly, but these words are a little bit rough here. If I go up close, it doesn't want to autofocus on it. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll be back here, and if we need to, we can talk about cards here. We can move Tiamat and get him out of the way and take a look at some of that as well. So we got a Ritual Guardian. 3 casting cost, 3/2. Pretty good with a Coven on him. When I say pretty good, it's usually because their health is relatively close to their casting cost. Bird Admirer, 3 casting cost, 1/4 with reach, and it's Daybound. Now we're into the uncommons here. We've got a Scab Wrangler, Human Wizard, 2/1. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Tap target creature. That's pretty good if you need to get stuff out of your way. Especially if you're playing tokens, I would think that'd be really good. Purifying Dragon. Hey, cool. I don't know if I have that dragon, actually, so I'm not 100% sure. Looks like something froze on my screen there. Okay. So, Purifying Dragon. Pretty cool. 5 casting cost, 4/3 flying. Whenever Purifying Dragon attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature. Then defending player controls. If that creature is a zombie, Purifying Dragon deals 2 damage to it instead. Pretty good. I don't know. I just like dragon pictures. We'll slide that. We'll take Tiamat down and we'll put our Purifying Dragon down to get a good idea of what he looks like. Focus. Focus. Come on. Come on. Focus. It wants to. There it goes. Got it. Okay, yeah, he actually looks really good. I like, I have a thing for dragons, so we have a collection of dragons going here, and it's very interesting to see all the different art that they've come up with. Faithful Mending, 2 casting cost. You gain 2 life, 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. And now we have an alternate art of the Reckless Stormseeker, or actually this is our rare. I didn't see how we jumped. He has a 3 of 4 on him. Interesting. Oh, 3/4 on the back. Got it. Okay, now I understand what that means. Reckless Stormseeker. He's a human werewolf. That's kind of cool, and he's 2/3. Ooh, I like what's coming next. Coming up here shortly. So we'll check him in a minute just to get an idea. I don't know the prices of this set very well, and so it'll be interesting. I love alternate art lands. This Plains is pretty cool. It's a black and white, like little barren landscape, which is kind of surprising, but I guess this is what vampire sets, so it makes sense in that. But it's pretty cool. I like that. Then we hit on the first pack an extended art here. Let's put it. Sorry, Dragon, you're already losing your spot. So we managed to get Arlen the Pack's Hope. Was that foil? I can't tell if it's shiny. I can't see it on the screen as shiny. It looks like it is a foil, Arlen, the Pack's Hope. It's a mythical, 4 casting cost, 4 value. Legendary Planeswalker Arlen, Daybound. Until your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash. And each creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Oof, that's pretty good. I could definitely see that as a commander option for sure. In addition to that, you could go -3 and create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. So fair enough. It's pretty powerful. Well, I'm going to do a check here. I didn't really think much about it. We had a Tree Folk and then the usual that card. Tree Folk token's kind of cool. I haven't seen that one before. So let's see how we're doing out of the gate. We've got 2 here to check. We're going to check the Reckless Stormseeker with its art. I think we're doing the fancy art. It's worth $1.65. Hey, you know, that's not bad from a pack. So he's worth $1. We're going to actually add that to the top cards so far, and he's going to end up probably going down, but that's okay. He starts off really good. So the Reckless Storm Seeker. I don't know what kind of art that's called. What is that? Alternate art? Doesn't define it on here. We'll just call it alt art. Stormseeker alt art. $1.65. That's a good start. It's a good start right there. I like that. And you know what? We get to put that instead of soon. We get $1.65 in there. Hey, that's kind of nice. Good start there. Save that. Update that. There we go. Okay, those numbers are up. So he's going to go in that pile over there. And then we've got Arlen, the Pack's Hope, as an extended art. It has a really cute little bear. Look at this. I got to put it back over here for a second. It's got a really, she's holding a bear. It's really cute. And, you know, that's not bad to start. So I'm quite impressed that we managed to pull in Arlen's the Pack Hope us early. Let's see what she runs, because I don't have a clue. She could be cheap. She could be expensive. And I bumped that word. There we go. All right. Let's see what we can get out of that one. Arlen's the Pack Hope Extended. If it'll search. Come on. You can do it. Come on. I know it's an extended art shiny and it makes it difficult to scan. Alright, we're going to search. Have to do a search. Arlen. 2 N's. Alright. Oh god. There's more than just her. There it is. The extended. Which one is it? 279. Okay, so it's that one. She's this one. And we're gonna, okay, you know, as a foil, it's worth $5.45. That's not half bad. We will take it, right? So, Arlen is going to take over this spot over here for us. And pack 1 has been quite successful. Actually, I apologize. I didn't even notice. The backside's really cool. We've got Arlen. The Moon's Fury is the backside of it. I keep forgetting that these are double-sided. I have trouble with the double-sided cards, but that's okay. Pretty cool as the Nightbound version of them. 4 starting value. It's +2 adds 2 mana. That's pretty good. And until end of turn, Arlen, the Moon's Fury, becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. No wonder it is $5.47. Pretty good start. Hi, Epsilon. How's it going? I just saw your note. Yeah, it's a weird looking colony, but we wanted to try something different, a little different stuff. And so this is a great start to the first pack. And I'm sure I will be back to RimWorld soon. We did end up losing our, well, I add this in Arlen. We did lose our desert world to the wonderful Forsaken that came in and slaughtered everyone. So now we're having fun in a mountainous forest area. Alright, Arlen, the Pack's Hope extended. We're going to do foil EX art. Not bad for a first pack, you know, like, more often than not, we get a lot of just garbage in here. So I hope that's not too, I think that'll fit on screen. We'll see. Okay, so, what would we say, 5? I'm going to have to do, like, fancy math. I didn't set up any type of spreadsheets or anything for this. I was like, oh, we'll just add some of the little stuff that's here. And here we go already out of the gate. Okay, on we go. Onward and upwards. Come on, save. Save. Okay, well, pretty good start to the night already. I like that. We're going to leave Arlen up here. Actually, let's run her werewolf side up a little bit. She's a little bit more entertaining that way. Come on, focus. There it goes. All right, well, let's run a Zendikar. Let's switch it up. Now, Zendikar's weird. They were packed backwards, so I'm going to try and do this in a way in which we'll start with the commons, because I like to leave the suspense in on it and work from there. So we've got the wonderful backwards opening of this. See, the back, it's so nice. Alright, so right out of the gate, we get a Turn Timber aesthetic. It's 5 casting cost, 5/4, and you'd gain 3 life. It's just a common. Next one, and it confused me to see the back of the card, and I set it up that way. It's so great. Field Research, 3 casting cost sorcery. It's got a kicker on it. Draw 2 cards. If the spell was kicked, draw 3 cards instead. Not bad. It's a little expensive for cards, but hey. We got a Spitfire Lagak. Lagak? Sure. 4 casting cost, 3/4 with a landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Ooh, that could be fun for Commander. It's a little expensive, but it could be fun for Commander, especially if you guys, because some of those go really long. So yeah, and yeah, Epsilon, it's I'm gonna try. I might do some editing on those videos to cut them down to highlight reels, so then if you go back and check them, you can see it without seeing all of the 3 hours of me farming or the little things like that. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. They showed up as soon as I got the research done to be able to get the comms link up. As soon as it got done, they showed up, and I was like, "Come on! I just wanted traders. All I wanted to do was trade," and they slaughtered everyone. It was not good. But I'm gonna see if I can make some highlight reels and build that into like a series, so then you can go back and have it a little bit faster than the 3-hour tour it is for each of these live streams, which is quite enjoyable when you're there, but after the fact it's a little rough. As for this setup, it's just something I'm trying. I like the idea of being able to like focus on something and have the rest of the pack here and share the fun of opening booster packs. So we're gonna keep going here. Let's see what we got. Shepherd of Heroes. Hey, I like it. Actually, I don't know if I have that angel. Nice. 5 casting cost, 3/4 flying. When enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each creature in your party. 1 cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. I guess that's just kind of the design for that set. But it's a good looking. Actually, I'm going to set that over here so I can remember to put that into the binder with the angels. I like collecting angels as well. We have dragon, angels, dinosaurs, and phoenixes, because they all have really cool art. Alright, Strength of Solidarity, 1 casting cost, choose target creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter out for each creature in your party. Fair enough. Sea Gate Banneret, 1 casting cost, 1/2. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. That is really expensive for +1/+1. I can understand it later, but more than likely this thing's going to die to being just fodder for the most part. Alright, Adventure Awaits. Oop, let's find that shiny. There we go. Okay. 2 casting cost sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, draw a card. Okay. Interesting. Good way to get some creatures. That stack's going to get full pretty quick. Alright, next one. Feed the Swarm. 2 casting cost sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. Pretty good if you need to get something off the board. It is a sorcery, so it's a little bit slow, but I'll take it. It'd be pretty good. The one thing I haven't looked at is what commons and uncommons are valuable in this one. I've done it in a couple of the others, but not so much. Marauding Blight Priest, 3 casting cost, 3/2. I'm going to look at it for a second. It looks pretty cool. Here, you can come hang out over here. I really like the red on the accents for this one. Let's see how that kind of looks in here. Yeah, she just looks kind of cool. It's just a little different and a little bit, I don't know, a little shiny. A lot of this set is pretty dark. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. That could be fun if you're playing a black and white, like life link it and then do that. Yeah, there we go. All right, Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Kind of a, sure, I go and say they're dark and then this one's nice and bright. That's always how it works, right? 1 casting cost. When Cliffhaven Kite Sail enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. It just gives flying. It's a pretty cheap flight, honestly. It's a pretty good upgrade, and then you can equip it later, so it's actually pretty good, honestly. Alright, I think we're into the uncommons. We've got a Fireblade Charger. 1 casting cost, 1/1, like every goblin should be. As long as it's equipped, it has haste. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That could be fun in an equipped deck. It's a pretty good card. Oh, well, we're going to give that next one away, but that's okay. Paired Tactician, 3 casting cost, 3/2. Whenever Paired Tactician and at least one other warrior attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, seems a little bit pricey for getting that out there. You have to make sure. And so then we hit a land here. Bala Ged Recovery. Oh, the backside is land. Sorry. Okay, so the sorcery on the front, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. And then this one is a land. Sanctuary enters the battlefield tapped, it adds a green. So it's a tapped green. So if you use it as a sorcery, I don't really understand these all that well. It has some bearing to it. Alright, so then we get, this is our rare, Confounding Conundrum. Easy for me to say and not you probably, but we'll see. 2 casting cost enchantment. When Confounding Conundrum enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. It is a confounding conundrum, that's for sure. That was a lot of words for basically stop them from putting extra lands in play. So we'll check that one in just a second. Let's see what our last card is. Ooh, Alternate Art Swamp. I do like alternate arts. I've been collecting a lot of them. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, El. That's awesome. So I can use either side, and it's filler land. Okay, okay. Ooh, and I got a cat. There's a cute little kitty cat. Here, we can switch her out for a cat. You can all look at a cat. This is what all the streamers do, right? They put cats on screen. Got an alternate art. Let's, well, you guys stare at the cat. I'm going to check the value of the Confounding Conundrum. I'm fairly certain I know the answer to this one already. And we shall see. Oh my goodness, too many buttons. Here we go. Let's take a look at Confounding Conundrum. It's 11 cents. We won't add that to the list. No one needs to know. Alrighty. So, let's move on to a different set. We're going to go ahead and open one of the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. I like this set, mostly because it has Drizzt and Guinevere in it, because why not? And also because they have dragons like the Tiamat we saw before. I pulled that last night, 2 nights ago, just randomly had a feeling of like, oh, why don't we open one of these packs that's sitting here while you're waiting for all the equipment to come in? And I had just started complaining about, oh, I haven't seen any dragons recently in quite a while. Man, I don't know, like, why is that not working? And I pulled the Tiamat out of it at the extended art, so it's quite cool that way. So this was a very nice pull with that one. So I like Tiamat a lot. Alright, so in this pack, they didn't mess up the order, so it's good. Eyes of the Beholder, 6 casting cost instant. Target creature gets -11/-11 till end of turn. It's basically, if you've ever fought a Beholder in Dungeons & Dragons, it's just basically like a death beam. It murders people. But if you're stuck against really high stuff, that could be for you. But I think it's too expensive that most people wouldn't use it. So Bull's Strength, 2 casting cost instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Untap it. Okay, that's just fine. Veteran Dungeoneer, 4 casting cost, 3/4. When Veteran Dungeoneer enters the battlefield, venture into the dungeon. The into the dungeon stuff is pretty cool. Actually, let's see. We do have like Lost Mines of Phandelver in the back here, and so it takes you down the tracks, and you can choose and get like little buffs that come through. It's kind of cool. We'll move Tiamat. We'll just get you out of the way so we can talk through it a little bit. So it's like, come on, there you go. So you have the opportunity of scrying or creating tokens, go to treasure tokens, different things like that, and draw cards. So you just move yourself along the track. It's a cool feature for this. I don't think it's like one they'll implement heavy for it, but it's a good match considering Wizards picked up Dungeons and Dragons. It's like a nice, whatever the word is for that, cross-play for it, and gives the opportunity to use multiple assets on it. So, yeah, venture into the dungeon. So, Shortcut Seeker. That glare. I'm going to get used to that light. I'll hold it right one of these days. Whenever Shortcut Seeker deals combat damage to a player, venture into the dungeon. Hey, 2/5 for 4. But you could venture into the dungeon, so it depends how much you need that at the time. Faraday's Fireball. That's kind of cool. 5 casting costs, though. Deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And then you roll a d20, which is always the nice part about this. Matching up to Dungeons and Dragons, you get to play with some d20s. Everyone likes dice. 1 to 9 deals 2 damage to each player. 10 to 20 deals 2 damage to each opponent. So maybe in a commander deck it might be nice if you got a lot of enemies, but otherwise it's a little bit on the weak side. Devour Intellect. This one, I have to double check. That one might be on the list. 1 casting cost sorcery. Target opponent discards a card. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast this spell, instead that player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and then that player discards that card. I got to double check this one. This one I think might be on the commons list as actual value, so I'm going to put that here, and we'll check it when we get to the end of it. Sylvian Shepherd. 3 casting cost, 2/3 vigilance. When it attacks, roll a d20, and you could gain 1, 2, or 5 life, depending on how you roll. Hopefully you're rolling well for that d20. A good old Evolving Wilds. It's basically a tap sacrifice land. You search your library for a basic land and put it into play tapped. Charmed Sleep, 3 casting cost enchantment, as an aura specifically. That matters for the... this newest set has a lot of things that affect if you're affected by an aura type stuff. So, enchant creature. When Charmed Sleep enters the battlefield, the enchanted creature, tap enchanted creature. I swear I can read upside down, sideways somewhat. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So, all right. Wild Shape. Everyone likes Wild Shape when they're playing D&D. So, 1 casting cost instant. Choose 1. Until end of turn, target creature you control has the base power and toughness, becomes that creature type, and gains that ability. So you could be a 1/3 turtle with hexproof, a 1/5 spider with reach, or a 3/3 element with 3/3 elephant with trample. For 1 casting cost, being able to change a token into whatever the heck you want is always kind of nice. And we are in the uncommons here. The Grim Wanderer. 2 casting cost, Goblin Warlock. It's flash. 5/3 for a flash. Tragic backstory. Cast this spell only if a creature died this turn. You know, for a 2 casting cost, waiting for a creature to die isn't bad for a 5/3. Rally Maneuver. 3 casting cost instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Up to 1 other target creature gets +0/+2 and gains lifelink until end of turn. A little bit pricey for a +2 and a +0/2 with first strike and life. Maybe I'm overthinking that one, but it's kind of pricey. And then our rare that we get is Ranger class. And I want to make sure. Okay, so Ranger class. This is one of the level up ones. So gain the next level as a sorcery to add this ability. So you cast each of these to get to the next level. So when Ranger class enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Level 2, whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. That's pretty good. And then for 4 to become level 3, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. That seems actually really good for 2, 2, and 4. At least I think it is. We'll check it here. It's our rare, so we're going to check it, and we'll see. And then, whoa, cool. We got an Orcish Prince of Death foil. He's shiny. Let's move him over here. We'll take a look at him. He's a legendary creature demon. I don't know if and we have a swamp too, so a basic normal swamp, but we'll toss that there. So we hit a foil and our rare in this, so that's pretty cool. So Orcish Prince of Death, he's X2 black and red, so he's a little bit pricey, but he's got an X on him, which is kind of cool. 5/3 for that cost. He's a legendary creature demon, flying trample. When he enters the battlefield, choose 1. Each other creature gets -X until end of turn. You lose X life. Okay. Return up to X target creature cards with total mana cost of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste until end of turn. Well, I'll take the second one. Yeah. That's pretty nice actually. So gives you the opportunity to pull some creatures out with him. He's flying trample 5/3, but that's kind of a fun looking card, and it's shiny. We always like shinies, right? Yeah, shiny. Okay, so I'll leave him there while I check these other two, and we'll keep working from there. Okay, I was wrong on the Devour Intellect. Might have been a different black card, but it's pretty good for that, for the 1 casting cost. And I think the Ranger class is actually very good. I take that back. The Ranger class is worth 28 cents, so no. And then the wonderful foil. Let's take a quick look at him and get an idea of what his is. As a foil, he's worth 59 cents. Hey, you know, he's foil though, and that's pretty cool. All right, so we had a really good pack, and then we had 2 mediocre packs, is the best way to put it. So I'm not going to crack the box just yet. We got a little ways to go. I'm going to take a quick drink. And we'll try and move along a little quicker through the wonderful commons that you don't need me to read all of them to you, but I wanted to start getting used to talking about each of the cards. So let's go back to an Innistrad Midnight Hunt. And Timberland Guide, I think we looked at him already. If not, it's just a basic 1/1. He's got some nice features. That mask is actually kind of cool, the Hedgewisp mask, and it's an artifact, but it's 1 white to cast. Looks like it gives +1/+1, and the creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 4 or greater. It's not bad. I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. What do you guys think? It's focus? Yeah, it's a little bit brighter than everything we always get in here. So then Devious Cover-Up. It's an instant. Looks like it's got Counterspell in it and a few other things. The Vampire Interloper. He looks kind of cool. He's just kind of floating there. And I'll get you out of the shine. I'll get used to that placement a little bit better. It's just I'm used to looking at them and showing, and so it's like the light is right there. So 2/1, 2 casting cost. Okay. Duel for Dominance. What is it? I'm sorry, I have to look at this one. It is a werewolf fighting a werewolf. That would make sense. That's why it's Duel for Dominance. An instant, and it's got Coven going for it, so it's a little cool. It's a good looking one. So then we have Pax Betrayal, 3 casting cost sorcery. Looks like she got kicked out. It looks like Twilight all over again. So yeah, that's. Hey, a Hobbling Zombie has Death Touch on it. Who would think that a zombie would have Death Touch? It's a 2/2. So the Gavani Trapper is an 0/2 for 1 casting cost. And the Voldarian Stinger is a 1/1 for 1. Lunarch Veteran. These commons are all pretty straightforward. 1/1 for 1, and they all got different stuff, but that's okay. We want to get to the good stuff. Morbid Opportunist. 3 casting cost, 1/3. Looks kind of cool. I don't know. There you go. Huh? I'll figure it out. Whenever one or more of the other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's pretty good. I don't know. Drawing cards helps for black specifically. Unnatural Moonrise. It's just a really dark card. Everything is dark. It's really... can't even tell. It's got a flashback with it. And then we have Overwhelmed Archivist. 3 casting cost, 3/2. When he enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card, and he's got Disturb. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its Disturb cost. Oh, so he's got double-sided, that's all. So he has Archive Haunt in the back, and he's a 2/1 flying. He still gives you the opportunity to draw cards and discard, and then he gets exiled. And then, Consuming Blob. It's a 5 casting cost. This is a mythic, which is kind of cool to get. I like that. So actually, we'll move him. Go away. We don't need you there anymore. We're going to move him over here. We'll take a look at him together. He's cool looking, but he's a mythic. We're doing pretty good out of the the Innistrad stuff. And then Day, Forest, and all that. The alternate art. This one's actually kind of cool because the ink shows in the light a little bit. You can see it there. You can see the edging for the border. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so we've got this Consuming Blob, and it's a lot of words in there. It's a 5 casting cost, star, star plus 1. Consuming Blob's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1 card type. So that's pretty cool. And at the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness equals, so it's the same thing. It just basically keeps spreading. That's pretty cool. I like that card. That would have gone in the green deck I used to have a long time ago. Like I loved those type of cards because I tried to accelerate land so fast so that you could put the big juicy monsters in, and he is definitely one of them. Why don't we take a look-see at? Well, maybe we'll put this forest out there because it looks kind of cool. So you got something to look at. So you can see it in that lighting too a little bit. You can see the edging. So the Consuming Blob, let's find out if that's got any interest. No interest on it at all. But that's okay. It's a pretty cool card nonetheless. All right, back to Zendikar. Let's keep working through these packs here. So we've got Zendikar here. All right, so let's see what's in. Oh, that's right. I have to go from the backs again because we got to do it that way. Why not? So, get that out of here. Alrighty, here we go. We've got a Tormenting Voice. That's kind of another cool little dragon-looking thing. I like that. He's trying to chew on that guy there. That's always kind of cool. Then we get a Kazandu Nectarpot. It's a bug. If you needed a bug, there's a bug. There you go. It's a 1/3, and it gets landfall. So that's kind of cool. It actually, it's here. We'll put it over here. I kind of like the green on it. Like it's got a, it's kind of glow feel to it, even though it's daylight. Expedition Diviner, 4 casting cost 3/2. Kind of a cool picture. I like the hook that she's got. Tajuru Blight Blade. Man, they make it difficult sometimes. 1/1/1 Death Touch. It's cool to have a Death Touch on a 1/1 for 1. Like, they never used to do that. Used to be you'd get a 1/1 for 1 and be happy you had it. Expedition Healer. 2 casting cost, 2/2 with Vigilance. Very nice. Then we've got a Gul'Draz's Mucklord. It's a crocodile. 2/3. 3 casting cost. You get to give a counter to someone. That's kind of nice. It's probably too expensive for the middle there, but that's okay. Dauntless Survivor. 1/1 for 2 casting costs. See, like 1/1 for 2. You don't get the 1/1 for 1. Enters the battlefield, you get to put a +1/+1 counter. So you end up getting like a 2/2 for 2, but again, he has no other features on him. I guess it is a common, but it's crazy. And so then, yeah, Absalom, the what they do for the land is just crazy in this game. Some of them turn out so great. And so I've liked a lot of those that they put out there. This forest, it's just, I don't know, a lot of this stuff is dark here. They've got some really bright ones as well in some other sets, and so it's nice to have that because you use so much land that why not have some cool look to them. So Mind Drain is 3 casting cost sorcery, nothing special there. Drana's Silencer is a 6 casting cost 3/2. 6 casting, it's got to have some stuff in there, but it's like kind of gives some -1s, but that seems okay. Expensive. Spare Supplies, 2 casting cost artifact. You get to draw a card, and then you get to use, you could sack it to draw a card. It's just basically more cards. And we've got, now we're into the uncommons, I think. Yeah, okay. Rockslide Sorcerer, 4 casting cost 3/3. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, It deals 1 damage to any target. Holy cow. So, like, put that in a burn deck. It's a little late. Like, 4 casting cost is late, in a sense, for a burn deck. But, like, you could just add an extra damage to everything you cast across the board. That's pretty cool. Marasa Sproutling, 3 casting cost, 3/3. Kicker 2. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target card with a kicker ability from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's interesting. And so, yeah, I agree, Epsilon. I used to play a long time ago, and then recently my wife was pushing the idea of like, hey, the art's so cool. Why don't you get back in? I was like, no, no, no. I'm going to open a lot of booster packs. And well, look where we are today. But I love the art. We're starting to just generally collect really cool looking things and trading to do that. Now, of course, some of the really cool looking things are also some of the more expensive stuff, but art in its own, they've got some phenomenal some phenomenal artists that do their drawings. But for the lands, they've got really cool lands. A lot of the dragons, a lot of the fire stuff always looks really cool, and so I definitely enjoy that about Magic for sure. I think this is an uncommon. Ooh, Roost of Drakes. That's a cool picture. I don't think I might add that for a dragon, just purely because it's a cool looking dragon. 1 casting cost enchantment with a kicker 3. You get to create a Drake, and if you cast a kicker, you create an additional token of it. I think is what that says. So it's a cool looking dragon. And then oh, this is the rare, and it's double-sided, I think. Okay, so this is a land, Hagra Brood Pit land. Enters the battlefield, tapped, it's black. So this is the same thing that Alex had said, like the idea that you could use either side. And then Hagra Mauling. It's a 4 casting cost instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast if an opponent controls no basic lands. And it's just a destroy. It's kind of an expensive destroy. But you at least have a backup land on it if you're getting stuck. So that'll be interesting to check in just a second. The crazy part with so my wife has a collection of Pokemon cards that she had from when she was a kid, and it's like all these crazy things that she had back then. It's worth quite a bit, actually, surprisingly. And it's every collectible card game is the same way. Like it's great art, especially with Pokemon. Like you can have some cool looking alternate arts of Pokemon that you see and things like that. So I totally get it. And Magic Pokemon, there's a long list of them. They just came out with a Disney game that unfortunately can't keep up its production right now, but that one's been a big hit for its art as well. So it's a fun hobby. So you should treat it like a hobby sometimes. And then last but not least, oh, we got a cool looking island. I like that island. You can look at that island while I check on this mauling. I have a feeling there's not much here. We'll flip it over to the blood pit and see. Not bad, 70 cents. We're kind of being a little slow right now. I think we got our excitement out of the first pack and then kind of slowed down from there, but we'll take it. Again, like that island's really cool. He helped fund his wedding? Wow. I mean, there's some cards in there that you could have pulled recently that are worth quite a bit. It's a surprise, and it was that big turn in collectibles that happened during the pandemic that really triggered the interest, and it also is a big part of the fact that the millennial crowd specifically finally has money. We'll just say they have money in a sense that they can go buy that one card that they wanted, the foil Charizard or the, I don't know, the Moxes for Magic or things like that. They have the opportunity to do it with the disposable income they have. I know that millennials have a tough time with income as it is, but the idea is that they get to do what they couldn't do during their childhood. So that's why during the pandemic everything just shot straight up. And so it's pretty cool that he was able to sell his collection and fund his wedding, or help fund his wedding. It's rare that you're in the right place at the right time. All right, so I think you heard me crinkle out a pack. I was another Forgotten Realms one in the Dungeons and Dragons group. So we got a Spiked Pit Trap. You never want to find these when you're dungeon delving. It always sucks. And it looks like it does that for the opponent as well. An Earth Cult Elemental. Kind of a cool little rock design. 6 casting, 6/6, and it has Siege Monster, which when it enters the battle, it basically, when it enters in, it gets something to do damage on the d20 that's there. Hill Giant Herd Gorger, 6 casting cost 7/6. You gain life. I think we saw him before, didn't we? I might have seen. I don't know. They all blend together, right? Devoted Paladin. I actually think this is cool, and it looks like it's not Lae'zel, but it looks a lot like her in there, and she's gets added to the second D&D set. She's part of the Baldur's Gate 3 game that's going on right now, and so 5 casting cost 4/4. You find the villain's lair. Except the villain probably escapes, I'm sure. Foil it or learn their secrets is the 2 different options that you get for the 3 casting costs. A Hobgoblin Captain, 2 casting cost 3/1. Leather Armor. Everyone finds this, and it's usually mediocre, which is what it looks like, actually. Simple as that. Precipitous Drop. Well, that guy's fallen. He's falling down the hole there. I don't know. -2, and gets -5 as long as you've completed a dungeon. Hey, we got a Mimic! Mimics are cool. That looks cool. Here, I'll put it. I know we're covering a land, but Mimics are fun. Everyone loves a good Mimic. And so, 2 casting costs. You can sacrifice to add 1 mana of any color, or it becomes a Shapeshifter with base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. For only 2, that's pretty good. He just sits out there, can do whatever we want with him. We got a Priest of Ancient Lore. Just a 3 casting cost 2/3. We got a Blue Dragon. There we go. We like dragons. That's great. I didn't have this art of Blue Dragons, so I have the extended art, which is cool for sure. But the I don't think I have the basic Blue Dragon art. So he's very cool. Yeah, I like the lightning breath that he's got going right there, and that's a cool looking card. And then we managed to get Hama Pasher, Ruin Seeker, 3 casting cost 2/3. He's a human wizard. Room abilities of dungeons you own trigger an additional time. That's actually kind of cool. I don't know. Hey, Purple Worm, 7 casting cost 8/7. Everyone likes a big creature, right? It's always the nice way to do it. It's not that great. And then Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So they have a weird little art style that I've seen on some of the other stuff. But Hive of the Eye Tyrant is a land. And the alternate art that these have is like a book cover. It's very interesting, but this one doesn't have that. If you control 2 or more other lands, Hive of the Eye Tyrant enters the battlefield tapped. 2 or more. That's the opposite usually. Okay. It's black, and then it has the opportunity for 4 until the end of turn. It becomes a 3/3 black beholder creature with menace, and whenever this creature attacks, exile target card from the defending player's graveyard. It's still a land. It's actually pretty good. Like, early game, you get it out there like a black land, and then later on you just get to use it as a monster, so that's always nice. We'll check that guy. We got... Actually, that's a pretty island. That's a cool looking island. And a Tomb of Annihilation. So let's take a look at our Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Hey, there we go. I knew we'd get back there. That one's worth $2.54. Pretty good. We'll take it. We're going to put it in the middle of the list here. So we got Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Nothing special on it, and it's $2.54. Cool. And all these prices are through this app, pulls from TCG Player. It's just the usual place where people sell the most. I had learned that TCG Player had been bought out by eBay, which I didn't know that. And so then we get to there and there. Click a save, and that should update in our list. So that's cool. We got another card that's worth a little bit. And we will continue on. I'm actually surprised how long it takes to talk about cards, and we're only halfway through the loose packs I had, and we've done almost an hour. Makes me wonder how other people just sit there and just do this. Do they not even talk to people? Or do they not even talk about the cards that they're doing? So, it's interesting. That sound of opening packs. It's so nice. Alright, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Here we go again. We got another vampire. 3 casting cost 3/2. Nothing special about him. Return to Nature. It's a tree in a tomb. Or not tomb. Maybe. 2 casting cost instant. Hey, there we go. Something bright, right? It's a nice... I need to get that to focus just a little bit more, but it's a Celestus Sanctifier. 3 casting cost 3/2. It's got a lot of text down there that it's a common, so we won't dig too deep into that. Competent Collector is an eyeball on a guy carrying skulls. Here, we'll put it over here so you can stare. It can stare at you while you stare at it. It's just it's an interesting art. Then we got a Crawl from the Cellar. It's a creepy zombie coming out. 1 casting cost Sorcerer. Got Flashback. Ooh, that's a kind of a cool art difference. So a different little border on this Dawnheart Rejuvenator. 4 casting cost 2/4. He's kind of mediocre, but I like the different borders when they decide to do that. I bumped that. It's still okay. Candlegrove Witch. 2 casting cost 2/2. Nothing all that special. Lambholt Harrier. 2 casting cost 2/2. Wolf. Sure. It's got a really expensive function on it that I don't think that would be much more than a 2/2 for 2. Harvestide Infiltrator. He's got 2 sides. Ooh, we'll look at the other side in a second. I peeked. 3 casting cost 3/2. Daybound. And then the Nightbound side has a cool looking werewolf on it. We'll stick it over here so you can take a look at that. Yeah, that cool looking werewolf there. It's a little bit of a different... it's a 4/4 Trample Nightbound. Then we're into the uncommons here. So we have Turn the Earth. 1 casting cost. Choose up to 3 target cards in graveyards. The owners of those cards shuffle them into their libraries. You gain 2 life. Flashback. Winterhorn Blessing. 2 casting cost Sorcerer. And it has a lot of stuff with a flashback on it. And then we've got a Pyre, the Cathartic Pyre, always nice. 2 casting costs, instant. You can either deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. It's actually kind of nice to be able to discard and do that if you're stuck on some really expensive stuff. That could really help you out. And our rare, Suspicious Stowaway. 2 casting costs 1/1. Suspicious Stowaway can't be blocked. Whenever Suspicious Stowaway deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Daybound. Oh, so it's got another side. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so Seafaring Werewolf. 2/1. Seafaring Werewolf can't be blocked. Whenever Seafaring Werewolf deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's kind of nice. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a small creature, but for rare, it's interesting. We got a really cool looking black and white plains that we'll put over here. Yeah, that is bright. Wow. Looks pretty cool as a black and white plains. We also hit a foil Tireless Hauler. It's just a common foil. Nothing special there. And a human carrying a pumpkin on his head. He has a pumpkin. Good for him. Yeah, so there you go. While you look at that wonderful plains, we'll get a quick look at these to see how we're doing on them. Stowaway is mediocre at best, 24 cents, so not too special. And then the Tireless Holler will get put into a binder as a basic foil, so nothing special there either, but that's okay. So that was Innistrad. We'll switch it up for Zendikar again. Alrighty. Doing okay on this. Could be a little bit better, but we'll take it. That's how cards are, right? Sometimes you hit the big ones, sometimes you don't. Alright, so we've got a Cascade Seer, a little bit brighter of a card. It's a little bit, is it better? It might be better on screen than my preview screen. That's kind of nice. Merfolk Wizard 3/3 for 4. Okay, it's a card. Grotag Bug Catcher. It's tearing apart a bug. And so it is a 2 casting cost 1/2 with trample. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of a cool little different art. A territorial scythe cat. It's a 3 casting cost 2/1 trample. Kind of like the difference in art there. Like different border to it is kind of nice. It's got a diamond shape inside of there, a little different. I like that, and it's kind of, I don't know, glows green. Everyone likes that. Deliberate, 2 casting cost instant for scrying and drawing cards. 3 casting cost Angel Heart Protector is a 3/2. Kind of nice and bright, and she's got a nice border to her, or a nice shield that she's building up there, casting on herself. And we've got a Skyclave Sentinel. He's a gargoyle, but he looks like a dragon. That's pretty cool. 3 casting cost 2/3 with a kicker. Flying Defender. I want to take a look at him a little closer. Yeah, I like him. He's cool. See, that's pretty cool looking. It looks like a dragon to me. I don't know. He looks less like a gargoyle. We'll probably put him in the dragon section and just say he's a dragon. No one else will know. Dauntless Survivor we've seen before, 2/2 for 2 casting cost 1/1. Core Celebrant, she's casting something, 3 casting cost 1/4. Nothing special there. I think we're gonna be Subtle Strike, 2 casting cost. Choose -1/-1 or +1/+1 counter. It's expensive for a +1/+1 counter. I think it's got a spider in the background though. Ooh, there's some nice red. Going into the Oblivion's Hunger. It's an instant for 2. Still a common. Then we've got Merfolk Falconeer with a big bird. Big bird. 5 casting cost 4/4 flying. Whenever you cast a kicker, scry 2. Okay, that was an uncommon too. Doesn't seem that powerful for an uncommon. We have Scion of the Swarm. Again, really cool kind of blood effects there. 5 casting cost 3/3. Flying. When you gain the life, put a +1/+1 counter. When you gain life, not a life, gets +1/+1. It's good, but it's pretty late for a 5 casting cost. Then we have, we'll flip it quick, because we have what looks like a land coming up. Veteran Adventurer, 6 casting cost 5/5. It's also a Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard. It is everything. He is a veteran of everything. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Okay. Vigilance. Okay, so he gets cheaper. That's kind of cool. And then we've got a rare land, Murkwater Pathway. It's counts as a black. And then on the other side, you have Clearwater Pathway, which is a blue. So you basically get to pick if you need a blue or a black. This is a pseudo dual land, isn't it? Is that how that works? I dropped that. I don't know. Interesting. So it's basically a dual land then. So you got blue on one side, black on the other, and then also a really cool looking island. I love this art. It's so good. You're stuck with me talking about art for the rest of the night. But I'm going to check this Murkwater Pathway because I think that is actually like kind of a dual land. Come on. I know you're an extended art. I don't know why it has such trouble searching for extended art. You can do it. There we go. Hey, that is a really good card. $5.75 for that one. I thought so. If what Al had said earlier with being able to use either side, it's basically a dual land. Then it's just it. I guess I take that back. It's not a dual land. It is both or either land. It's an either land, which is still very valuable because if you got too many blacks, you can use blue. If you got too many blues, you can use black. So that is actually takes over the most expensive card that we've gotten so far tonight. Let's see. I'm gonna do it as Clearwater Pathway. And they don't have multiple art styles, do they? Oh, I got the extended art version. But I didn't get foil. Hold on. Go back. Go back. Go back, go back, go back. This one. That one. Okay. So it's actually worth a little bit less as a extended art. That's odd. Huh. Okay, so maybe it's just the way the set was printed. So this is EX Art. So it's not the most expensive card that we've gotten because it's only worth $4.62 in this case. So let me fix that real quick. Okay. So let's add that on real quick. Alright, so come over here, we'll click save there, and we'll click this one. Click save there. Perfect. Okay, so everything should update in just a moment for you. Perfect. So I'm going to pull this stuff. Let me just see if there's anything I want to save in here. I want those extended arts. I'll get all this other stuff, and we'll let you guys look at the Clearwater for a little bit while I get the next pack up and running. There you go. It's pretty. Would like to visit there. That would be cool. Alrighty, so I need to just check a couple things. Okay, good. Alrighty, so we're going to do Adventures in Forgotten Realms now. Ooh, out of the gate, a spare dagger. Everyone can use a spare dagger, right? 1 casting cost artifact that you can equip. An Eltergard Ranger. 5 casting cost for 1 with reach. I think we've seen that one before. A pretty Ranger's Hawk. Very nice bird looking. 1/1/1 for flying, and it gets a tapping option. It's kind of expensive. Bar the Gate. I think they're referring to a gate as in a extra planar gate in this case. Oop, dropping stuff. Hey, we got upside down cards in this. That's interesting. So, Brazen Dwarf, 2 casting cost, 1/3. It's just a dwarf, but he's shooting something out of his hand. Shambling Ghast. Instead of a shambling zombie, it's a shambling ghast. 1 casting cost, 1/1 for a zombie. A Scaled Herbalist. It's like a lizard dude. 2 casting cost, 1/3. And now we're upside down, which is odd to me. So how many cards are upside down? Only 2. Only 2 are upside down. It's weird when you get some of those mispacks that it's like, okay, I guess that was upside down today. Minimus Containment. This one is a 2/3 Aura. And it kind of just... it's an interesting card. But 4 casting cost, 3/3 Beast. The Bulette. What is it? It's like a ground... I don't know. It's coming out of the ground there. You see, it's actually this blue thing here. And it's got a front claw. I don't know what that really is. And then we've got Curdell of Baldur's Gate. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, 2 casting costs, 1/3 is a human elf rogue. That's a lot of stuff. And it's the alternate art, so like the I don't know, scroll-esque. Hey, we got a white dragon. There we go. There's another dragon to add in. We like dragons, that's for sure. 6 casting cost, 4/4 flying, but I definitely like it. Oh, we got the Temple of the Dragon Queen. I'm going to actually make sure this gets added to that pile, and we'll add the white dragon so you can look at it. So Temple of the Dragon Queen here. It's got a, basically it looks like it's a statue to Tiamat. It is a land. As Temple of the Dragon Queen enters the battlefield, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. Temple of the Dragon Queen enters the battlefield tapped unless you revealed a dragon card in this way. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color. You can gain a mana of that color. So any color. That's actually a really good card. We might double check that. And of course, we get Volo as an alternate art. Volo's kind of just Volo is the best way to put it. If you ever played D&D, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. 4 casting cost, 3/2 as a human wizard. Whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, copy that spell. Wow, that's kind of cool, actually. He might be pretty good. We'll check that one. And then we got a foil island. Look at how shiny that is. We've seen this island before, but it's foil, so that's always cool. And we got a normal mountain and a promo card. The usual promo. So why don't we check these 2 cards real quick and progress what we're doing. Temple of the Dragon Queen. Nothing special on the land. I thought maybe there was a chance on it because it seemed pretty good, but must be dime a dozen. Actually, 30 cents a dozen. Then we got Volo. Volo, like I said, is Volo. He's not worth anything, which he's not really in the Baldur's Gate 3 game either. He's kind of a little obnoxious, in my opinion. Very grandiose about his opinions. Or his stories, I guess is the best way to put it. But that's okay. Alrighty. Down to the last 3 of these. Down to the last 3. Here we go. Let's see, will they stand? No, they won't. It'd be too easy if they would stand for me. Okay, let's do Innistrad Midnight Hunt this time. Gotta see if we can get a big price card. We've only gotten a handful of mediums. Ooh, that has a different smell to it. That's like a little bit stronger ink to it. Let's see what we can get out of that. We got Rotten Reunion, 2 zombies hanging out for a 1 casting cost instant. A Pestilent Wolf. He's kind of a interesting wolf design. The Evolving Wilds. It's a sacrifice to find the usual. There's every type of those. A Larder Zombie. Hey, it's a blue zombie. Typically, they're always black. He's 1 casting cost, 1/3 defender. That'll do that. And of course, a black zombie as well. A Diregraph Horde. 5 for 3/4. He's probably just another zombie. Famished Foragers. I don't know if you can see that, but she's kind of hanging out on the rooftops, I think. Looks pretty cool. Or maybe not. Maybe she's... Oh, no, she's in the middle of a blacksmith. That looked like a peak of a roof. So 4 casting cost, 4/3. Discard a card, draw a card, but it's kind of expensive. I guess for red it's not bad, but we've got Eaten Alive. Nothing better than that. You'll be a zombie soon, that's for sure. That guy's getting eaten. As a sorcery. A Cathar Commando. 2 casting cost. With 3/1. Not bad with flash, so it can be played as an instant. You can destroy an artifact or enchantment with it. Not bad. Festival Crasher, 2 casting cost, 1/3. It's a devil. Look at him. He's got a pumpkin on his head. And he's just flying through someplace he's lighting on fire. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the Morning Patrol, 3 casting cost, 3/2/3. Human Soldier. So that's the daytime version. He has Vigilance. It has a nighttime version, which we'll flip over here. And it has, no, that's not the nighttime, right? No, this is the one that has the Disturb, sorry, Disturb on him. That's what the star means. So he has another side that has a Bright blue ghost looking morning apparition. And then into the uncommons, we have Dual Craft Trainer. 3/3 for 4 with first strike. A Play with Fire, like everyone always does. 1 casting cost instant. Lesser Fireball, but lets you scry. Okay. And then we have a Dauntless Adventure. This one has, I think it's what? That's actually the opposite side, right? So it'd be this side, right? So when another creature you control dies, transform this one to the other one. So it's a 3 casting cost 2/1, and it becomes a Dauntless Avenger, which is a 3/2. Kind of a cool little pictures there. And then we have Curse of Silence. It's an Aura Curse. 1 casting cost, enchant player specifically. A Curse of Silence enters the battlefield. Choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name enchanted player cast costs 2 more to cast. Whenever the enchanted player casts a spell with the chosen name, you may sacrifice Curse of Silence. If you do, draw a card. I don't know that helps a lot. It's not that great, honestly. I don't know. We'll take a look at it and see. Maybe someone knows a combo that I don't know. And then we've got another island. This one is really difficult to see, though. I like the black and white style, but I just have no idea what's going on. The wave is crashing, but it's a little bit tough to see on that one. So I'll take a look at what the Curse of Silence is doing these days. Yep, 21 cents, just like I thought. Really didn't have any value to it. I couldn't see otherwise. Alrighty then, so let's knock out the Zendikar Rising one. And the last one we have to do backwards. Unless I haven't opened these recently, this might have also been that set, but we shall see. Okay, so Chilling Trap, 1 casting cost instant. Ooh, that's kind of cool. A Spitfire Lagak. We saw one of these, didn't we? But we saw a different version of it. I'm going to get rid of that island for this. That's kind of cool looking. I like when they do this alternate border that's a diamond, it kind of focuses a little different, but the fire looks kind of cool on that. All right, Deadly Alliance is a 5 casting cost instant. Nothing special there. We've got a Scavenged Blade, 2 casting cost equipment. Gives +2/+0. So it's kind of expensive. Its equip cost was really expensive too. Huh, interesting. Then we have Scale the Heights. Interesting enough. I don't know. Cliffhaven Sellsword, 2 casting cost 3/1. Nothing special. It's just a 2 casting cost 3/1. So there you go. Zulaport Duelist, 1 casting cost 1/1 flash. A lot of these commons are just your generic commons. A Constrictor, it's a snake. Hagra, it's kind of a cool looking snake. 0/0, it's going to come with counters, and that could be interesting with some of the counter stuff that's out there. Namana Skydancer, 3 casting cost 2/1, Flying Flash. And now on to the uncommon Skyclave Plunderer. 5 casting cost sorcery. It's a lot of stuff about getting cards. Blue doesn't really appeal to me all that much most of the time, so it's always an adventure with that. Cleric of Life's Bond, 2 casting cost Vampire Cleric, 2/2. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. He's actually pretty good. I like him. That'd be cool in a black and white deck that's cleric driven. And then we've got the Being Veil, 2 casting cost instant. Creatures your opponent controls gets -2/-0. It also has the opportunity to be a land that comes into play tapped. I think this will be our rare, a coveted prize. It's a sorcery 5 casting cost. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with a converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So that's a thing. It has a lot of conditions to it. I don't know that it's really all that great. We'll check it though, because that's our rare. And we got a foil Ghastly Gloomhunter. He's shiny. He's just a big bat. He's a zombie bat. Just a common. And, oh, we did get a really pretty plains. It's kind of nice, that plains there. Focus. There it goes. And actually, we got a cool looking Angel Warrior as a token. That's nice. So I actually will add that token to our collection of angels. So let's get a quick look-see on what that pack is. And we've got one more before we crack this box open and see how we do with that. Yeah, the coveted prize was not anything of value, and obviously the foil is not either, but the foil gets added to the foil collection. And he gets added here. We're getting a big stack of cards over there. But now we get the last adventures in the Forgotten Realms pack. Will it be good? We need to hope so. I definitely like the adventures sets because I'm a D&D fan. I liked the Lord of the Rings too, don't get me wrong. That was good too because I like the Lord of the Rings. The cool thing is that they have a Jurassic Park World, whichever, I don't know which branding they're going with, but they have a dinosaur theme coming up, and I think that's going to be really cool. It matches up again with the, I'm going to mess up the name, so I'm not going to try and say it, but we like dinosaurs in this household as well, so that's well worth it. But here we go. Plummet. 2 casting cost instant that destroys a creature with flying. That's actually not bad, especially if you need it in draft or if you're drafting that. We've seen the Hoarding Ogre before. So this one I know is actually worth something. Feigned Death, because I found one earlier today in one of some other stack of cards that I had. This one's actually worth something. It's 1 casting cost instant. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. As an instant, that's pretty good because you can plan that out really well. So we're going to set that aside because I will scan that one here shortly. And then we have an Inspiring Bard. 4 casting cost 3/3, nothing special with him. A Planar Ally. He's an angel, actually. Oddly enough, I didn't think there was an angel here that was one that I would use. Wow, he is really tough to see in that camera. Here, we'll move over here. We'll let you look at that. He's cool enough that maybe we'll put, I guess she, long hair. Yeah, she's cool enough that we'd put her into the binder. Then we have a Clever Conjurer. He's a gnome wizard, aren't they all? Dragon's Fire, 2 casting cost instant. Interesting. Hey, more upside down cards, right? Nothing better than that, so we get 2 of those. So a Celestial Unicorn is a 3 casting cost unicorn, 1 and 2. Kind of a pretty, but it's really washed out in the light. Ugh, there, I think that's a little better there. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. Air Cult Elemental. A nice little elemental there. 6 casting cost 2/5. That's a little rough. Oh, that doesn't go there. Neither does that. I'm putting them all into the wrong stack, and I'm going to just confuse myself later. Good job. Ingenious Smith. 2 casting cost 1/1. Nothing special. It's an uncommon. Hunter's Mark. Everyone knows Hunter's Mark from D&D. 4 casting cost instant. We got the Warlock class at the beginning of your end step. If a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. Interesting. And then Eye of Vecna is what we got. Eye of Vecna is the rare. 2 casting cost. When Eye of Vecna enters the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 2 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card and you lose 2 life. So it just gives you the option to keep cycling life for cards, which is pretty good. I have a few of them if I don't remember correctly. And then this is a foil Cloister Gargoyle. So it's an artifact creature, but it costs white, which is kind of cool. And then it's an 0/4. And it's shiny, so we'll see if that's got anything. And then we got a forest and a treasure. Yay, treasure. So let's see how we did on that one. So the Feign Death is not what it pulled up. Try again. There we go. So I know the Feign Death. It's interesting. The Feign Death is worth $1.64 each as a common, which is kind of crazy to me in that sense that a common runs that way. So I've been pulling a bunch of them. I have a handful of them now, which is kind of nice. Just got to find someone to buy them. Feign Death, dollar. Where'd it go? $1.64. So we added that one in before we lose it. Then we'll check the Eye of Vecna. Eye of Vecna is nothing special, and the Foil Gargoyle. Nothing special either, so as expected. But the Feign Death's a nice little addition for $1.64. We'll take it. Those packs were not as expensive as they usually are in most cases, so we did all right. I will take that, but I can definitely tell you it was not a slam dunk, though I did pull out some of the more expensive stuff when I opened some of the other packs that I had for this one. So let's add that in here. Alrighty. So give me 1 second. I'm going to drink some water. Okay. So why don't we crack the box? I don't know that we'll do the whole box today, though, because we've already been going, surprisingly, for an hour and a half. I didn't know talking about 12 packs would take an hour and a half, so we will not get through the box tonight, which is okay. That'll leave some more to try and do this again another time. I'm going to work a little bit on getting the resolution better in this area, because I feel like I cannot quite read the text that's coming through there. And that's annoying me a little bit. I don't know if it annoys you guys, but it annoys me a little bit. So I'm going to get this stack out of the way just because we're collecting quite a bit there. And we'll see what we get. So, nice little box here. Woo! Oh, that's right. You get a topper on this one. I'll even try and punch this out right for you so you can have the feeling of, oh man, he's in a card shop and he's got all these packs of cards. Look at that. Oh, I'm like professional, except it's a little bit high, but I'm not changing the angle of that because I know the lighting is the best it can be given what I need for it. So we got this box topper. I don't really care much about this information, but I do care about whatever that is. So let's see what that is. Stick that over there somewhere. So out of the gate, we're going to get this box topper. Kind of just like one card in it. We'll see what it is. I don't actually know what they did in here. I just know it came with it. Alright, without ripping the card, because this is packed in different... It looks like they use different materials for this packing set. Interesting. Alright, so the box topper happens to be a card, which is always cool. We got a... it's a foil, so that's pretty cool. It's a Tor Walkie the Younger. 5 casting cost 3/3 human archer, reach, and lifelink on him. If another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. Interesting. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Tor Walkie the Younger deals 2 damage to any target. Wow, he's actually pretty cool. He might be used as a commander for some people, which is interesting. Man, did I bump it too much? There we go. It's starting to, the foil on it made it a little bit shiny through there, so I'm gonna grab these, put these guys over there, those over there, And why don't we just check him real quick? I think he's part of the Commander. Is that the Commander logo? It's so... I never know for sure. Yeah, he's nothing special, but he's cool looking. I don't know. As an uncommon, I'd be surprised you'd use him as a commander, but he had some interesting effects. He might not. He might be in a commander deck. Focus. Focus. There it goes. Alrighty. So, Dominaria United. I don't know a lot about this set. I have the rarest card out of it because I managed to pull that out of something else altogether. But we will take a look and see how these go. The packaging is really weird. It's a little bit more crinkly and shiny, and it doesn't quite wrap the cards as well. So that was interesting to feel. Oh, come on. And, of course, because it's different packaging, it's difficult to open. Don't want to bend everything in the process. Come on. There we go. Got it. Yeah, actually, the packaging is a lot more difficult because it's, like, more... stretchy, is I guess how I'll put it. All right, so are we backwards? I think we're backwards. Okay, so I think we have to do this whole set backwards, which is annoying, but that's okay. So we got a snare spinner, has reach. It's a cool looking spider. I like that spider. It's got a bunch of different colors on it, and might be pretty good. We have a Flowstone Kavu. Just a big guy, 2/3, 3 casting cost. He gets Menace, which he can't be blocked by less than except by 2 or more creatures. We got a Molten Tributary. It's a tapped land, basically. Tap duel. They always have really cool ones of those. A Soaring Drake. 3 casting cost, 2/3 flying. I actually don't like that picture of a dragon all that much. It's kind of meh. Interesting. And then we get a Battlefly Swarm. 1 casting cost, 1/1. Oddly enough, I think I removed this from a commander deck that we have because I wanted to get something else in, and he was the cheapest to do it with. All he does is gains Death Touch, which is nice to get rid of stuff, but Tide Pool Turtle, 4 casting cost, 2/5. Interesting. Oops. Hey, none of that. No falling. Hopefully that'll refocus. Again, I can't go... I've got like this dot right here, which I think is part of the computer. It's right there. So it's in there. Okay, it's a hole. Okay. So then I've got the Urborg Repossession. It's kind of a interesting 1/1 source or 1 casting cost sorcery. Take Up the Shield. That's pretty cool looking. I'm going to put it over here. That actually, we'll toss that into the right pile, and we'll move it over here. That is a really cool looking card, honestly. The shield that's there is like, I don't know, it's just a good looking card. Alrighty. Next we've got the Sunbathing Rootwalla. I've seen this before. I actually got a foil of him. Oh, I know what happened. I had bought some welcome packs, and he was the foil in the welcome packs, and I have a lot of him as a foil in the welcome packs. Don't buy welcome packs. There. Samite Herbalist, 2 casting cost, 2/1. Yavimaya Iconoclast, interesting. 2 casting cost, 3/2 elf. He's got a red kicker on him. So we're playing a red-green. He's got a red kicker. Trample. If he enters the battlefield kicked, gets +1/+1 and gains haste. That's not bad. A 3 casting cost, 4/3 haste trample. If you're playing green-red. That's pretty good, actually, I would think. We've got the Yodia Declares War. It's one of the read-ahead type little sagas that are there. Those are always fun. And then we've got a Vohar Vidalian Desecrator. Wait, was that our 3rd or our 4th uncommon? Third. This is the 3rd uncommon. I thought we were on a different line in this, but here we are. 2 casting cost, 1/2. Phyrexian. It's a Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. Okay. Then we've got a Adhikar Wastes extended art. I think that's actually worth a little bit. And then we end up with a soldier and a mountain the rest of the way out. So Adhikar Wastes as a extended art. Let's find out. Alrighty, $3.77. Not as big as I thought it would be. I think, oddly enough, somehow the extended art is cheaper than the other one, but we will take that for sure. Alright, let's add that here. Alright, so he's at a quarter. What did I say he was worth? $3.77. The foil's worth a little more, but not by much. Alright. You know, that's just fine there. Click save for that. Ended with 69, of course, so that's always fun. But we'll take that. That's cool. Those lands, as a pain land, it's okay. I guess, yeah, that's probably why it's not a gigantic. If it wasn't a pain land, it'd be a little bit better. But obviously, it would be a little bit better. But here we are. So, we can do another one and see how we do from here. We're going to start to see some repeats just because, obviously, as a booster box, it's a lot of the same. And I'm not diversifying it across other things. So we'll see a lot of repeats. Oh, this is the backwards stuff. And away we go. We have a Bog Badger. He looks cool. He looks really nice. 3 casting cost 3/3 with a black kicker, so he's a black and green. Coalition Warbrute, 4 casting cost 3/4. Scout the Wilderness, 3 casting cost sorcery with a white kicker, so green-white is available there. Ooh, a Hammerhand. He looks kind of cool. I'll stick him over here for a little bit, just so we can look at him. 1 casting cost, Aura. I guess it's not a he, it's an Aura, but the picture looks really cool. He's got a pretty big claw there and all that fun stuff. We got a Tattered Apparition, a Pixie Illusionist, 1 casting cost 1/1 Fairy Wizard. Oh, with green, so blue-green's available. A Destroy Evil, that's a cool looking picture with an angel on it. An Eerie Soul Tender, Spirit Cleric. Hey, a sunbathing Rootwalla. We haven't seen that before at all. It's just non-stop with him. Stall for Time. Blue-white, so it's a 3 casting cost instant with a blue kicker. A Warhost's Frenzy. Red-black, in this case. If you kick it, you get to draw a card whenever a creature you control dies this turn. So it gives +2/+0, and the kicker does that. We've seen this one, right? So the saga that's there. And we've got Tor Devanati, Fury Rider, 4 casting cost red-white. She's a human knight. Vigilance Trample for 3/3. It's pretty good with Vigilance Trample. When it attacks, all other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Other red creatures you control gain Trample. And tap each other white attacking creature you control. That's pretty good. Okay. And then our rare is Runvelt, Horde Master. He's a Goblin Warrior. 2 casting cost 1/1. Other goblins you control get +1/+1. When Runvelt, Horde Master, or another goblin you control dies, exile the top card of your library. If it's a goblin creature card, you may cast that card until the end of your next turn. Interesting. He might actually be worth something. We'll see. I forget. He seems familiar that I've seen him before. But then this art style has always been really fun when they did this set. And a soldier. All right, we'll check Runville real quick. See how we're doing there. He's worth $1.20. We'll take it. That's always worth something, right? Mostly we're tracking anything that breaks $1 because that's interesting to me. It might get too long and then I'll drop the bottoms, but that's okay. Cool. Let's run another one. These packs are, the plastic doesn't rip as easy. So you hear more crinkling. Okay. I forgot to hit save button, save button. Here we go. Ooh, we got an angel in the back. That's fun. Alrighty, so I'll share with you the angel that was floating back there. I have to check to see if we have that angel token or not, but I like angel tokens. It's always fun. Alrighty, so let's see what happens now. We have a Goblin Picker, 2 casting cost 2/2. Discard draw is not terrible. A Yavimaya Sojourner, 8 casting cost 4/6 with a domain for each basic land type among lands you control. So he wants to be in a 5 color to become a 3 casting cost 4/6. Llanowar Stalker, 1/1/1. It's kind of a mediocre 1/1/1. Thrill of Possibility. It's an instant, 2 casting costs. Where is it? There it is. Come on. You can do it. Alright, as an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Not bad. Eerie Soul Tender, we saw this one before. 3 casting cost 3/1. Negate. This one's been around forever. It's basically a type of counter spell. Target non-creature spell. And next we've got a Splatter Goblin. My guess is a Splatter Goblin is a goblin that gets thrown. It's a Phyrexian Goblin. 2 casting cost 2/1. A Sunlit Marsh. Tap land, basically. White-black. A Stall for Time. We've seen this one before. That was the one with the blue kicker. A Phyrexian Rager. 3 casting cost 2/2. Then we have a Hurler Cyclops. He was probably the one that threw that goblin we saw recently. He can deal 1 damage to any target. He's a 5 casting cost 5/4 though, so it's a little bit late. Micromancer instead of a Micromanager. 4 casting cost 3/3. And then we have Alice Ilkor, the Sadistic Pilgrim. Do we see him before? 2 casting cost 2/2 Death Touch. Nothing special there. And then our rare is Stronghold Arena. It's black with an enchantment. You can kick with black or green or white. 2 casting costs. When Stronghold Arena enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Can you kick it multiple times? When one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. It's probably a mediocre card. I can tell you right out of the gate that it's probably just a meh. We'll check it though, because that's part of the game. 7 cents, yeah, no one plays that. You could tell already. All right. And we go again. We'll shuffle one up. We'll take one from the middle over here and see what we can do with it. It's exciting when you hit good stuff and then it just kind of slows down a little bit. That's the interesting part about this. So I don't know if I need to speed up the mediocre packs or if the pacing's good. We'll kind of review it and see how we do and then kind of work that way a little bit later. I'm also thinking I'm lagging a little bit, but that's not like drop frames or anything, but the difference between my talking and where it is on the screen is a little bit long. All right, so we're going to move through the next pack. We have a Hexbane Tortoise. It's a tortoise. 3 casting cost, 3/2. A Gitu Amplifier. 2 casting cost, red, blue. We have, oh, that guy's cool. Molten Monstrosity. Here, we'll change this up. You've been staring at that planes for a little while. Molten Monstrosity looks pretty cool. It's an 8 casting cost, 5/5. That worm is really interesting that they have on there. Something I think changed on my distance. Okay, that's fine. So then we have Scout the Wilderness. We've seen that one before. That was the green-white kicker. Bone Splinters, black sorcery. As an additional cost, cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Actually, it's not bad for a destroy target creature. You could trade a token for 1 and get that. That's pretty good. Essence Scatter is the one we saw about the counterspell. Salvaged Mana Worker. We haven't seen him. He's a 2 casting cost, 1/3 construct. And then we're going to do Sacred Peaks. That's again another tap land. Griffin Protector. Hey, we finally saw a griffin. That's kind of a cool looking griffin. I don't know. Why is it so... Wow. It's just tough to see some of them. I'm looking at some screens. I apologize. Just trying to get an idea where we're at with looking. So the Griffin Protector. 2/3 for 4. It's kind of expensive. Hey, another tapped lands. They're all cool looking. I just don't know that I would use them a ton. Tap duels. Weatherseed Treaty. I think we haven't seen that here, but I've seen it before. We have, oh, 2 of them. Braids, Frightful Return. It's kind of an interesting card. We have Rana, Sharad's Faithful. 4 casting cost, 3/4. Nothing too special with that. They have a lot of legendary creatures in their uncommon set, it seems. And then we have Chaotic Transformation. 6 casting costs. Exile up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target enchantment, up to 1 target planeswalker, and up to 1 target land. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shares a card type with it. Puts that card on the battlefield, then shuffles. Oh my goodness, that is obnoxious, and I doubt anyone plays it. And a forest, and a beast. On that wonderful note, let's just check on the Chaotic Transformation, see how we did. Yeah, no one plays that. 5 cents. As expected. Up next is another booster for Dominaria United. Dominaria United. Alright, let's see how we do. We have an Elfhame Worm. I don't think we've seen it, but it's kind of like, it's a Vigilance Trapple for 5, not bad. We saw the Hammer Hand already. Thought it was cool looking. Bite Down has a giant dinosaur-looking thing eating a alien of some type. Phyrexian is my guess. There's the black-red tapland, the geothermal bog. We have the Pixie Illusionist. We've seen her before. We have the Shadow Prophecy. 3 casting costs instant. Destroy Evil we've seen with the cool looking angel. My guess is a lot of these commons will be flipping through. Captain's Call we haven't seen. It's a 4 casting cost sorcery. It puts 3 white, 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play. Phyrexian Vivisector. 2 casting cost Phyrexian for 2/2. We have the Benalish Sleeper. 2 casting cost 3/1. We have the Dragon Whelp. I love the Dragon Whelp. So this isn't the original art, obviously, but it's one of the dragons that was back in the day that they've reprinted quite often, surprisingly. So it's a 4 casting cost 2/3 flying, and it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If it's been activated 4 or more times, you have to you sacrifice it. So it's like it's a nerfed Shivan Dragon and stuff like that. So it's always been cool, and I liked the art of the original that was there. Altari's Scorn. It's a 3 casting cost. Counter spells, and it can have less depending on what the opponent casts. Costs less. We have the alternate art for the Tor Devanti Fury Rider. We've already seen this one, but this is the other art for it. Kind of stained glass design. It's an interesting that they put in this, and I think maybe one other. And then we have the Llanowar Loam Speaker. 2 casting cost 1/3 Elf Druid. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Oh, that's nice. For 2 casting costs? Okay. Target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. Activates only as a sorcery. Okay. We'll check him. He actually might be something. And then, hey, that plains again. I like that plains. And a soldier. Let's check him. Nope, not worth anything. But he still seems pretty good. Like, he would be great in draft, I think. Especially if you're going to do multicolor in draft. Alright, here comes another one. Moving a little quicker just because we've seen a lot of the commons. And different things like that. There's like one card that's worth a ton in here. And all that fun stuff. So, we'll see what we can keep doing here. Alright, so Smash to Dust. 2 casting costs. We've seen that one before. Crystal Grotto. We haven't seen this one. It's a land. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. It's it gives a colorless mana. There it is. And you can spend a colorless to get 1 mana of any color. So it's not bad. Like, you can trade your colorless out. It's not a bad card. Floriferous Vine Wall. 2 casting costs, 0/2 defender. It's a plant wall. Everyone likes a good plant wall occasionally. The Voda Sea Scavenger. It's just a merfolk that's down there, so those are the arms. Like, it's tough to see on that screen a little bit, but it's a 3/2 for 3. And then the Tattered Apparition. We've seen that one many times before. We've got the Timely Interference. Oh, that's the one with the red kicker on the blue. We've seen that one. And the Flowstone Infusion. Target creature gets +2/-2. We've got the Heroic Charge, 4 casting cost, instant with a red kicker. We have Talus Lookout, 4 casting cost, 3/2 pirate, human pirate. Slime Foot's Survey, 5 casting cost sorcery. That has a lot of words about searching for lands in it. Joda's Codex. I haven't seen this one. 5 casting cost artifact with domain 5. Draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands you control. Oh man, so it could start to become a draw a card every turn if you have each. That's pretty good. If you're playing a 5-color deck. Yeah. Shallows, I thought that was going to say. Okay. Restoration. It's a black-white with a white kicker. We have, Rith Liberator Primeval as the stained glass version. This is a dragon. I actually wish this was the normal dragon. 5 casting cost, legendary creature dragon. 5/5. It's flying ward 2. Other dragons you control have ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent controlled was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. He is pretty good. I like him. Interesting. I'm curious what the normal. We'll probably see it when I search it, but I wish I had gotten the normal art on him. He's pretty cool looking. And then we have a foil, Writhing Necromass. I was surprised the lack of foils we got this in the last couple packs, but that's just a card. And we got a forest and a goblin. Yay, let's see what this Rith is going for. At least the stained glass art that's here. Alright, so the normal version. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It's going to be, maybe I can get it over here. No, you're not going to be able to see it. But the normal version looks pretty cool too. It's not actually, luckily it's not the best looking dragon in the world, or I would be a little bit more annoyed about the fact that it's the stained glass version. But he is worth a little bit, which is nice. And we've got the non-special. Oh, you know what's funny? This clearly no one likes the stained glass version because the normal version is $2.50, but this one is 67 cents because he's stained glass. That's interesting. I'm going to put it over here anyways because it does count as a dragon. Alrighty, so we are coming up on the 2-hour timeline, and I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit on you, so I'm going to open one more pack, and then we're just going to do a quick little recap of everything that we got and some of those pieces, and then I will end the stream for this evening. But so let's do one more pack. Be a lucky pack, be a lucky pack, and we'll see what we can do with it. Oh, come on. There it goes. Hey, you know, it's always good when the first card you see is a dragon token. We'll even slide it. Oh, and you got a cool swamp as well. So there we go. Off to a good start. We're going to put that dragon token over here because it looks cool. I don't even think I have that dragon token, so that's great. Here we go. Benalish Faithbonder. 2 casting costs, 1/3. We haven't seen that one. That's a new one. Then we've got the Gaia's Might. It's a big tree carrying some people. I don't know if we've ever seen trees carrying little people before. I've never seen that before, ever. The Coalition Warbrute, we've seen him. The Barkweave Crusher, we haven't seen him. I don't think, maybe we have. 4 casting cost, 2/5. The Gibbering Barricade. I don't think we've seen that one either. Huh. Okay. The Academy Wall. 3 casting cost, 0/5 Defender. That's a new one too. We've got the Valish Tide Turner. 2 casting cost, 1/3. Merfolk Wizard. We might have seen that one. I think we've seen that one before. Battle Rage Blessing. That's kind of cool. Let's see, that swamp that's back here. I'll move that up for you. But the swamp, there you go. Yeah, the swamp. Like, that's so cool. I see that, and it's quite impressive. Battle Rage Blessing. That's an instant for 2. Mesa Cavalier. 3 casting cost, 2/1. Human Knight. Kind of cool looking Pegasus that it's on. It's another one of the tap lands. Territorial Morrow. It's a big tree. Star, 5 casting cost, Star. Interesting, to say the least. We've got the Sanger Connoisseur. 5 casting cost, 3/3. I think we've seen that one. Vampire, flying, gives counters, is what it is. We've got the Urg, Spawn of Turg, easy for them to say. 3 casting cost, star 5. It's a frog beast. It's a kind of cool looking frog. I don't know. This is different. I like black-green. It's a nice combo. And then our final card is Defiler of Dreams. It is a Phyrexian Sphinx. 5 casting cost, 4/3 flying. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spell. Let's see. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 blue less to cast. If you paid life this way, this effect reduces only the amount of blue mana you pay. Whenever you cast a blue permanent spell, draw a card. Okay, the draw a card's great. The other one's a little bit odd, so we'll check that one. But Epsilon, you played. The stained glass reminds me of PS1 game called Medieval. I have not heard of that one. I don't remember. There's been a few pretty good games that have some nice stained glass, but I don't know that one. I'll look it up a little bit later to get an idea of what they had before. Defiler of Dreams is a 31-cent card. Who would have thought? Alrighty. Well, 20 bucks out of those packs. I think that's a little low. But I mean, I got some good stuff out of some other stuff that I've done before in the last few days. So, alright, I'll take it. That's fine. We got some interesting stuff. I don't know that I had a lot that I would use. Of course, I like the alternate lands. Like, everyone likes the alternate lands that we get to see, so that's always nice. I'll play those, but let's see. So I'm going to pull out what we know as our top performers. We got this one, and where did the other one go? There it is. Got that one, and we'll do our top 3. We'll just do our top 3, so we don't have to talk too much about it. But so with a total of, I lost track of how many of these packs I opened, but I think it's like, actually, do I know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like a total of 7, like 8 packs. So a total of 20 packs. We only brought $20 out of it. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. That's not the main goal here. I just like tracking it like everyone else does. We pulled some interesting cards out. We got some foils. We've got some stuff to add to the mix of the cool binder set that I have. Those different pieces. So overall, I am pleased with the pulls we've had. And so let's take a look at our top 3. So in third was our Adhikar Wastes. The art on this is cool, but it's really washed out. And the camera, it actually will show what I can see too. It's a little bit darker than what you can see probably on screen, but it's really washed out, and that's kind of unfortunate. It could be a little bit sharper and a little bit better in that sense. But number 3, $3.77. So I like the extended art styles. Those are always really nice, and I think that's what we're seeing out of everyone. They all like the extended arts. And our second spot was the Clearwater Pathway. Again, you can tell lands. It's not a dual land. It is a 2-type land that you can choose. So it's an ore land, I guess is the best way to put it. So Clearwater Pathway. And on the other side, they have the Murkwater Pathway. So it's like they're just basically saying you get to pick 2 directions with it. But that one, $4.62 as the extended art version. And so this one, at least this one had some, like you can see the design a little bit better. That other one, you just had no idea. It's supposed to be, if I look at it closely, it's like, I can't even tell. Honestly, it's supposed to be like really high floating islandy, I don't know, whatever. But this one, at least with Clearwater, you can tell what it is. And then our top performing card is the Arlen, the Pax Hope. this evening, foil specifically, as a mythical out of the Innistrad Midnight Hunt. $5.45 is an extended art foil, and it's got a cute little bear on it. She does transform into a cool looking werewolf as well. So all in all, interesting cards, very cool art. Found a couple dragons, found a bunch of the alternate art lands that we got. I actually have quite a few cards in my stack here that I'm adding into the binder, so that's cool. And some repeats of those alternate arts as well, but that's okay, because I like putting those into decks, and we've got quite a few decks to load in for that. So all in all, I enjoyed doing this. That was the idea, to try it out. I love opening packs as it is, and if it's better to do it here and get it online and share with people than to do that on the couch by myself. So I wanted to share it. I've got camera equipment for days, so I might as well try and set that up. I'm going to work a little bit on this guy. It is tough to see. Like here, reading this is great, but the text that was like the small text was difficult, and it does blur as I get closer. The light up here I like, but I might try and find a different position so that we don't glare on the angle here and get an idea with that. This camera, this was just a really cheapy webcam, and they have a version that allows me to focus differently, so I might be able to set a focal point here that'll help with the text. Similar, so that's my DSLR over here, and that looks really sharp. That turned out great. So we'll see. I would expect that I'll be back to RimWorld maybe tomorrow night. I have to see what our calendar has in store. I played RimWorld last night, had a lot of fun. We are on our second world. We have killed off all of the people that we crash landed with, and, well, someone else killed them off. I didn't do it. But the man in black came and saved the captured slave, and I now have 3 different people, and I don't think that one's going to last very long, but that's the reason we play RimWorld. So I'll probably pick that up maybe tomorrow night, or what's tomorrow, Tuesday? Yeah, I think tomorrow night might work. So Epsilon, thanks for hanging out. I'm glad you're here to chat with me, and I like showing a little bit of different stuff and trying different things. Got to learn these things. Technology is so cool. But I appreciate all of you that tuned in. If you're anyone that's still here, if you have the chance, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the like button. All those usual things, they help with the wonderful analytics that YouTube puts into the background that somehow makes people see stuff. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of the evening, great rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Have a good night.